It's another walk-in rant. I am planning on going live this evening with either a meme wars or a news show. More than likely, I'll probably do the news show because I have a lot to discuss. Certain things have not changed while I've been away, but this video is not about politics. I'll get into that tonight. Let's discuss this place known as Hell on Earth, also Disney World, in June of 2025, late June of 2025. Describe the scene for you. Theme park full of fat, horrible people, disgusting Disney adults everywhere. A lot of kids as well with their families in horrendous heat. Like every time you go outside in Florida, I've never been in that part of Florida, Central Florida, which is basically a fucking swamp and should have remained that way. They put this black magic, money creating fucking nightmare there. And when it's like a gazillion degrees out, first off, you have to go through a TSA style nightmare on Earth to get into the park. So to get into the park, you have to park about 8 trillion miles away from the actual place, and then you have to drag your family across these ridiculous parking lots to the stupid park. You have to pay like insane amounts of money for the tickets and all these things to even get in. And then you get to the park, and it's just blistering heat. Kids are complaining already. If you brought any water, it's now like lukewarm. You're not allowed to bring anything into the park other than like yourselves. You have to go through a metal detector, and more than likely, because you have like an air tag in your bag or something, it's going to set off the stupid metal detector and you're going to have all your shit searched, which is really, really, really gay. I highly, highly recommend that if you're someone who likes to like use cannabis, that you take gummies beforehand, because it's basically impossible to vape or smoke or anything like that inside Disney. And then on top of that, you can't bring your own alcohol because they don't want you bringing in your own alcohol. And alcohol in the park, if you can find any, is about a gazillion dollars. I mean, it is the biggest money-making fucking scam ever. Ever. Like, the shit down there is insane. So you pay huge money to get into this place. And then you get in there and every line is like an hour something long for every fucking thing. So if you don't pay more money for lightning passes, then you don't get to like get on anything basically. So now I got to pay for lightning passes for all these fucking rides. And the rides are like a minute long or something. It's ridiculous. I mean, granted, I was on kids' rides because I was there with children, and that's the only people who should be there are kids with children. I mean, at one point, fucking behind me in line, there was a dude dressed up like Red from Descendants. You ever seen this ridiculous shit? A lot of you don't have kids, probably have not seen the TV shows on Disney. But have you ever seen the movie, horrible movie, musical garbage, Descendants? The Red character, there was a dude who was like 6'2", 280 pounds, big giant tranny dude dressed up like that, going into line like to go see the Ariel ride, which is like for fucking kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? It's absolutely insane. But yeah, I mean, it's hell on earth down there. There's strollers everywhere. There's just the heat index in late June is like insane with the humidity. Brutus is escaping off the leash. You have to buy like everything inside the park. The only thing that I figured out that was like a good trick to save money at this place is freezing water bottles the night before and bringing those in with you. They would allow that. And also, if you park at the water park, Blizzard Beach or whatever, it's free parking and it's the smallest parking lot. And from there, you can get to all the other parks really easy on the bus. And that bus drops you like right off at the front of the park. So the best thing to do is to park at Blizzard Beach, walk over to the bus, and take the bus to all the other parks. That right there is a big time tip for anyone. And if you are going to sneak alcohol into the park, like say you want to bring some rum in, so you don't have to buy fucking $20 cocktails. That's how much they were charging, like 20 something dollars a cocktail down there. I mean, it's literally the most insane scam ever since the Federal Reserve. I haven't seen a scam as big as this since that. So you have to bring it in a plastic water bottle though, because if you bring it in like a metal flask, that will set off the metal detectors, which they have everywhere down there. Fun. You basically get to experience going through TSA to get into a theme park. Fun stuff. And then after you're through that hell, you get to wait in lines forever to go on, like, if you have little kids, the teacup ride. While you're staring at these enormous human beings. Another thing about it is the food situation in there is absolute shit. You're not allowed to bring in your own food, and there's no healthy options anywhere. Like, all of the food in there is GMO, disgusting, fucking garbage you shouldn't be eating. There is nowhere to like get a healthy version of anything. It's all bad stuff. It's all bad for you. There is no like way to avoid it. I guess the only thing you could do is like rent an Airbnb, stay outside of the parks, make your own breakfast, make your own dinner, and then like just have to eat lunch in the theme park. Because if you're trying to do it any other way, you're just going to spend an absolute fortune and you're going to regret it because the food's horrific. So, oh, God, it sucked. It was so fucking stupid. It's just like every little thing, like everything that you do there just costs so much money. It's literally insane. I can just hear like the owners of the theme park being like, "Oh yes, Goyam, we figured it out. It's bring your kids. It's the new way to lose all of your money. Oh, do your kids like Moana? We got 1,000,000 Moana dogs for you to buy." Every ride you come off, they're like, "Oh, we didn't get enough money at the gate. We want to sell you more toys." It's just, oh my God, you go to grab like a bottle of water, they're like, "Oh yeah, we might buy these for like 10 cents a bottle, but we're selling them for 4. And oh, do you want to tip us? Do you want to give a tip to our underpaid staff?" It's like, okay. Uh, the wokeisms are everywhere as well. Like, you turn the corner and there's just a giant fucking rainbow mural. You get all these like giant fat fucking people walking around everywhere without kids. I've never seen so many rascals. You know, the little mobility scooter things for fat people? Holy fucking moly, were there a lot of those. It was like an army. If you could figure out how to rent those out to Disney adults, you'd make a fortune. Like, there's literally an army of motor scooters, rascals everywhere. That should be like one of the rides for people. You get to ride a rascal around the park and see what it's like to be an older Disney adult. Here, it's 90 fucking degrees outside. The only reason I went is because like my daughter has a dance competition in Orlando. And of course, it's at the end of fucking June every year. And last year it was at Hershey Park. And when I brought the kids to Hershey Park last year, late June, it was also a gazillion degrees and completely unbearable. But Walt Disney World, like the one thing they did have different there than like Hershey Park was at least a lot of the wait lines and stuff were inside, you know? But like even with that, it was fine for me, but not for like the kids. The kids did not like they would get heat exhaustion and stuff all the time and be like, "Oh, my stomach hurts," and you'd give them water and let them cool off, and like it was just brutal. Like, do not recommend going to Disney World in late June. If I wasn't going there for the stupid dance thing, I wouldn't have like picked that week to bring them to the park. But it's just kind of like if you're going to be in Orlando anyways, you're not going to bring them to Disney World. Like, I had to bring the kids there once when they were kids. Once. That's it. I'm done. I am fucking done with that bullshit. Like, you know, all the women get angry with each other because they're all overheated and they all fight. The kids are all fighting. Kids are too hot to even be grateful or enjoy things. It was insane. You know, the only enjoyable parts were like being on the rides themselves because they were air conditioned. But you'd have to wait like huge wait lines for these things. Unless you had the stupid pass, the lightning pass thing, which we did have for a bunch of stuff, but it costs like a fortune to buy those, you know? So, and then if you're going to do that, like, just creates like a two-tier system. So you have people shelling out like insane money to go on the rides like me. And then you have everyone else who has to wait like a trillion hours, which is made even longer because you have these people jumping the line. I don't know. It just, I thought Walt Disney was all about equality and all this bullshit. No, it turns out as soon as money's involved, there's no longer any equality, is there? We gotta fund the war against Gaza somehow, Titus. you, you know, just I'd love to be in the meeting room of this, like as they're going through the changes. They're like, should we do anything to help parents or kids? They're like, yeah, we should make the water bottles another dollar more expensive. Like insane, insane. Like my son saw this like Star Wars like build your own robot thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, you just build a little plastic robot. I could probably buy one of those in the store for like 20, 30 bucks. It can't be that expensive. I'm like, all right, how much to do the build a robot experience? They're like, oh, we're glad you asked. It's like $4 fucking billion, actually. It's $6 million, not one penny less. And you're like, are you serious? How are the rest of these people in here affording to build these things if it's that much money? They're like, oh, because they all just said yes. It's like, okay, great. But I mean, the main point here is why is everything at Disney so fucking expensive? Because the same people who own Disney own the money printers, and they've printed money into being completely worthless, obviously. You know, if a cocktail costs $20, then the money's not worth anything. You know, we're like Nigeria almost, where they've overprinted the money so much that you need like a barrel full just to buy a cocktail. It's insane. You know, and like the boomers that have allowed this shit because they're in control of everything still, they don't care. They're like, yeah, we bought our houses for less than you pay for a Nissan Altima today, you know? Like, you can't even get like one of the like most economical cars like out there, like a Civic or an Altima, for less money than they bought their homes for. We're talking homes they're selling for like millions of dollars now. And they don't understand that like something about that has to change. You know, you can't keep living in a system where that's the case. Your home's value didn't go up by like a couple 100,000%. It's because the money's value went down by hundreds of percent, right? It's still the same house, same land that you bought for like a couple thousand, but now it's worth huge money because you let the bankers just overprint the money supply without any resistance forever. And you can see like Elon Musk is out there pointing out like, oh, the debt increase and all this stuff since forever, and how it's a uni party, how the Republicans and Democrats are the same party when it comes to serving the banksters. And you know, we had big hopes for Trump because he was talking about inflation, he was talking about the problem with the Federal Reserve and their, you know, inability to control inflation because it doesn't serve their interests to. When you're a private central bank and you make money based on interest, then it, you know, benefits you to keep printing more and more money because then you can loan more and more money out. You know, all the private banks make the majority of the money through loans where they have 10% holdings and they can issue out fractional reserve loans and make money on those. That's how most money is actually created, is through loans from the private banks, where they're just literally printing money out of thin air and being like, yeah, here's $1 million, 900,000 of it is completely fake, made up out of thin air. We have 100K to actually loan you, but we want you to pay us back, like probably with interest over 30 years. It ends up being like $2 million you got to pay them back, even though the bank loaned you like 100K and they called it $1 million. It's total horseshit. That type of system was never meant to last and never can last. The only people who benefit from that are the same people who benefit from you spending $5 gazillion inside Disney. You know, it's insane. Low branch. So that's what I wanted to say. Obviously, as I said before, the same people behind all that crap are the same ones that want governments to go to war because that loans more money to the governments from the private central banks and they can keep expanding how much money they have like it matters. Like at some point, when is it going to be enough? You know, the bankers, the top like 0.01% control like 90 something percent of the world's finances, and they're like, this isn't enough. We need more. I want all the shiny nickels. It's like, okay, at what point are people are going to get fed up with this and actually do something about it? I don't know. I thought there was a popular uprising happening against all this with like the MAGA people, but they now seem content to just let another war happen and get divided amongst themselves on stuff that we all agreed to like a few months ago. Like it wasn't that long ago that we all agreed we didn't want any more wars. We were sick of inflation and we wanted the immigrants out. It looks like we settled for the third of those and none of the others. Are we just going to settle with that? Are we going to let ourselves get divided over this crap, or are we going to, you know, unify around the principles that we wanted and the reasons we got Trump elected again, which was an end to inflation, an end to wars, and all this other crap. And fuck Disney. I thought that was the other one we were all kind of about, was fuck Disney and Hollywood and all this bullshit. Yet you go there and they're charging more money than ever for all this stupid crap, and it's more popular than ever. and absolutely loaded with POCs, which that's another one I don't understand. If it's so fucking expensive that, people that make good money like me have trouble affording to go there, how in the bloody fuck is it full of all these other people that are definitely on like government subsidies and things? How are they affording to go to places like that? They shouldn't be able to. And if they're able to afford to go to stuff like that, we shouldn't be giving that many government subsidies out. Like, this is the thing. Like, when I was growing up, I saw in one of the poorer neighborhoods around, there was a family that was on like government handouts. Neither parents worked, right? And what they kept doing was adopting and having more kids because they knew for every kid they had, the government payout monthly would increase. But they wouldn't do anything to like upgrade their house or improve their living situation. They just let the house fall apart and just kept taking more and more money for themselves. An example, the front door wasn't even on the house. It was just like a bed sheet hanging as a door. And they never like corrected that for years. So with all these like immigrants and stuff they bring in, and they're like, oh, well, they have so many kids. Yeah, because they're getting government fucking subsidies for each kid. So every time they have like another kid, they get more monthly payout to help take care of that kid. It's not like they're going out there and doing anything to help society. They're just increasing the burden on the rest of us that are the producers, which there's fewer and fewer of every day, you know? So I hope all you people out there that are living off the system, enjoying theme parks and other bullshit, I hope you enjoy it when the ride comes to an end, because the ride will be short, because it ain't going to last forever. And that's what I have to say about that. And that is all related to Disney, because it's all, you can see it all there. You can see the propaganda, you can see the effect it has on people, how fat they've become, how like easily entertained they are by short little rides. I mean, they're willing to stand in 90 something degree heat as adults, not like for kids, to watch a kids ride. Like, to go on the Little Mermaid ride, there was adults in line for that without kids. I mean, can you imagine the levels of insanity you'd have to get to want to do that? It's just, it's unbelievable. So yeah, society is basically just as fallen as you thought it was, and Disney as bad as you could imagine it being. So you see any of these like influencers out there? Like, I've seen this dude Marsh goes to Disneyland, and I've seen like Andy Worski at Disneyland as an adult. These other people, time to start really questioning like, who the fuck are these people? Who are these like e-celebrities, and why are so many of them like sexual deviants and all this? Like the ones you've actually heard of, not talking about ones that get no audience like me, you know? Who's promoting these people? Now that I've been there, like anyone that goes there that's an adult and is not going because their kids want to go, mad sus. That's right. 100% suspect. Okay? So that's what I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the rant about that shithole Disney World. Do not go. Do not come. Do not come. Unless your kids like really, really love Disney shit and you really, really want to take them there once, go once with your kids. No one else is allowed to go. Anyone that goes without kids, you are a fucking weirdo. And that's all I have to say about it. All right. Have fun, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you tonight, hopefully, with either a meme wars or a news show. There's obviously a lot to discuss. And one of the things I've seen, and you see it at Disney as well, is the move towards automation and drones and all these things. Like, Disney has all these animatronics everywhere. Everything's animatronic. right? But robotics and stuff like that are coming to the forefront here soon. And one of the things that is going on big time is drone warfare and the advancements of drones and the transition of NATO to an automated drone military is underway. And, this is the type of thing they would do, but they would need like some sort of big event to transition the military into what they want to do, you know. So I would still say that there's a highly likely false flag alert of some major military thing getting hit by drones, and that being the reason why they need to transition the military to be an automated drone military from the big, large aircraft carriers and other things, because that's what they're all investing money into, is automated warfare and stuff like that. So I have a whole bunch of like videos and things of that people probably aren't aware of, like how advanced drones are and some of the countermeasures to those, from like shotguns to jamming devices and things. So I was going to do kind of like a special news episode on that if I do the news one tonight. If not, it'll be a meme wars, because there's been a shit ton of really good, funny memes. So kind of need to do one of each. I don't know which one I'm going to do, but tune in later on this channel to see which one. All right. Peace out, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful day.